Quality, progress, service. This logo symbolizes the American Peanut Shellers Association. Buyers around the world recognize USA-grown peanuts as the ones others are measured against. It takes teamwork from all segments of the industry to make it work. What you're about to see is the spirit of teamwork in action.
The first step in any operation is very important. Growers procure top quality seed after they prepare the peanut fields. This grower is in the process of filling his planter with seed. And once this has been accomplished, he moves to the field to begin the planting process.
Growers plant at a seeding rate of between 115 and 140 pounds of seed per acre, depending on the size of the seed. That number can be higher or lower depending on the individual grower's preference, weather conditions prior to planting, soil type, and other intangibles.
Within 7 to 10 days, the peanut will emerge. Depending on the weather, a herbicide will be applied to kill any grass that might be sprouting. As needed, the grower will turn the soil around the plant to stimulate its growth and control weeds, and he will continue to do this as needed. Given good moisture conditions, the peanut plant will begin flowering within 21 to 30 days. The first 3 weeks are a critical time for the plants. If the weather's too hot and dry, the flower, representing another potential peanut pod or peg, will never be able to take root in the ground. However, this plant looks healthy. Within 45 to 60 days after planting, the peanut vine has begun to grow and is in the process of filling in the row. Those growers who have irrigation have already begun to utilize it to place needed water to the plant. The result will be a full green plant where the rows are barely distinguishable. Growers will apply fungicides in an effort to combat diseases that might attack the plant. This can be accomplished with a tractor or by air if the ground is too wet to support a tractor's weight. Up until now, the grower has done everything possible to provide a good quality peanut crop.
One of the most important and difficult decisions a grower has to make is when to harvest. Too soon and the field is not matured to its fullest, yield and grade will suffer. Too late and the pods will detach and be lost in the ground. The hull scrape method analyzes the subsurface of the shell to determine optimum maturity. Once the grower has decided to harvest, he will attach a digger shaker to his tractor. This device will cut the taproot below the peanuts and gently lift them out of the ground. Once they're out, a steel conveyor will lift and vibrate them to remove as much dirt as possible before they are inverted.
After they have dried in the fields from 48 to 72 hours, the grower will begin the process of picking his peanuts. This machine will lift the field-dried plant to separate the peanuts from the plant. The vines will be discharged to the rear and will be harvested as hay at a later date. The peanuts are dumped into a bin above the picker, and then they're conveyed into wagons. At this point in the harvest, the peanuts still contain 20% moisture. And once the wagons are full, the peanuts are taken to be artificially dried at the farmer's location or independent drying location.
Large fans will force air heated to 95 degrees Fahrenheit into the wagon or large trailers and through the peanuts, drying them to between 8% and 10% moisture.
Many times while harvesting, the peanuts will contain pieces of rocks, dirt, sticks, or other foreign material which are dumped in the wagon with the peanuts. A grower is paid on the basis of his average grade. As a result, most growers will want to have their peanuts cleaned to remove as much foreign material as possible prior to grading. At the buying station, the peanuts are dumped into a pit, and then they're carried by elevators to the cleaner. Now, the cleaner is not designed to remove 100% of the foreign material, but will do a good job separating the peanuts, called farmer stock, from the large sticks, rocks, or dirt. Here you can see pieces of sticks, shells, and rocks have been separated. Then the clean peanuts are taken and dumped into the farmer's wagon. The next result will be cleaner peanuts with which to begin the shelling process.
After the cleaning and drying process, the farmer stock peanuts move to a sample rack, where federal inspectors sample them to determine the grade. In the lab, inspectors weigh that sample and shell it to determine the percent of damage, foreign material, other kernels, sound mature kernels, and sound splits, as well as moisture. The grower's job has now been completed. The truck will deliver the peanuts to the shelling plant, where the truck will be emptied into a pit and elevator, which will carry the farmer stock into the shelling bin. The peanuts now begin their journey through the shellers. The sheller separates the peanut kernels from the hull. And since the peanut kernel is heavier than the hull, the peanuts will continue their gravity ride, while the hulls will be air separated or vacuumed away. An extra step to ensure quality occurs when peanuts pass over gravity separators when any remaining foreign material from the peanuts is removed. Any unshelled kernels will be returned to the secondary shellers for reshelling. From this point, the peanuts will ride conveyor belts to the electric eye, highly sophisticated optical sorters. By the conclusion of this process, virtually all of the foreign material, damaged kernels, and other kernels will have been removed. From this point, the peanuts will travel to the sizing screens to separate jumbos, mediums, and ones. Once sized, the peanuts will then be lowered into their holding bins. All that's left to do is to place them into their individual packages. The most common packaging is 1 metric ton tote bags. Peanuts are weighed by a digital scale to a pre-programmed weight. From here, they are taken to a dry storage area adjacent to the shelling plant to await pickup. The last method is by bulk truck or bulk car. Bulk handling is preferred by the larger peanut users in order to move large volumes very efficiently. If the peanuts are milled and not called for within 4 days, they are moved to a cold storage facility. Peanuts here are kept at a temperature reading of 38 to 42 degrees to maintain quality and await shipment at a later date. But wait, the peanuts are only beginning their journey. 3 customers have called. The first wants his taken to a blancher, the second directly into a peanut butter plant, and the third will be exported. Blanching is the process of removing the skin from the peanut. The load to the blancher arrives at the facility and is weighed and unloaded. Samples are taken from the lot and checked for count, moisture, splits, ball heads, damage, and other concerns of the customer and blancher. The peanuts are dumped into a holding bin to await their trip through the dryers. These dryers will dry the peanuts in an effort to loosen the skin, which will speed blanching. From the dryers, the peanuts will be blanched and the skins removed. Any peanuts not fully blanched will be recycled into the blanching process. Once the lot has been completed, the blancher will package according to his customer specifications. So the only thing left to do is to load the finished product into trucks. The second load is taken to a peanut butter plant. This particular customer requested that the peanuts be placed into tote bags for shipment. And once roasted, the peanuts are ground up and turned into peanut butter. The butter is then placed into individual jars, inspected, and packaged. The finished product is stacked on the pallets, awaiting shipment to a distribution center. The third customer has requested his shipment be exported. The peanuts placed into a container and shipped to a port. And once at the port, they're held to await loading onto a vessel. And when the vessel is docked and is ready for loading, containers are brought alongside. From here, the peanuts will be shipped to customers in various parts of the world. Yes, quality, progress, service. Truly a farm-to-factory concept.